Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a little bit of time off here before we kick off some evening college football games. This is Hey Hey Sports once again, and we are available on YouTube. Hopefully, we like to thank last show we had several subscribers, and the traffic is gaining. We're not getting millions of followers, but if we get our numbers and our numbers keep escalating, again, we don't have the sign, but once again, if you're in the Chicagoland area and you get down to Homewood, Illinois, once again, Aurelio's Pizza from the south side, it's the sauce. And if you go down to Soldiers Field, they have a right on the corner of Michigan Avenue and Roosevelt Road, right off the orange line. You can go to one of their locations. Okay?
Once again, we are not paid sponsors.
We're not paid sponsors by Aurelio's. We just love their pizza.
Recommend them by anybody.
Okay. So we're going to try not to go as long as we did last time because we have to get our meal ready for this evening. I'm getting ready to make some wings and some mozzarella sticks and some mini corn dogs, so I'm going against the diet a little bit, but let the ticker fly. It's college football Saturday, and tomorrow's the Bears game. But first, right off the bat, just to update you on our beloved Chicago Cubs, because that is our first love here. Unfortunately, the Cubs spit the bit
on Anthony Rizzo retirement day.
On Anthony Rizzo retirement day, on September the 13th, they lost 5-4.
Colin Ray gave up 7 hits in the first 5 innings.
And again, Mr. Excitement.
0 for 5?
Pete Crow Armstrong, and I'm ragging on him as we speak. For those that are out there, I've been keeping a journal on his daily activities, and from July 1st, he is now batting .233, but even a more disappointing statistic is since July 28th, he's hitting $187. $187. Okay? And he's batting cleanup. I don't know what Council's doing. And we didn't have enough time to check the splits, but I do know he has more strikeouts than hits. I don't know what Council's doing.
Oh yeah, Carson Kelly hitting clean up there for a while.
This is 14 games left. Okay?
4 series left.
4 series is left. 90 is that magic number that they keep saying that, if you're a playoff team or you're a viable playoff team, 90 wins is the key. They have 84. So if they got 14 games left, they got to go 6-8 in that period of time. And they have to play. They got one more game with Tampa. Then they play, is it Pittsburgh, the Mets, or Pittsburgh, the Reds, the Mets, and then with the Cardinals. And the Cardinals might be the team that might hose them, okay? And boy, that would really stink here at the Mansion that if the Cubs came a buck short on winning their 90th game and those damn minor leaguers from the other side of the river, and I hate to mention their names, were the team that didn't allow the Cubs to get 90 wins. But I think now no one has to talk me off the ledge. I think they're going to make the playoffs. Okay, they have an 8.5 game lead over the last wild card team. So,
they got
unless it's totally traumatic,
they have to finish it out. They have to close out these games.
Okay. Now, they should finish with the 4th best record, which would be the number 1 wild card team. That's what they like to be.
Then they'd play the Padres in that situation,
because then they would host all 3 games. A best 2 out of 3. If it goes 3 games, they would host all 3 games at Wrigley.
Yeah.
And then we would have to start pricing some tickets and maybe make a.
We might make a show. We might make a playoff game show.
So we'll see what happens there. So dealing with the Cubs, that's the update there. You notice that we're in college football garb. Notre Dame plays at 6:30, and U of I plays at 6. Fighting Illini play Western Michigan. Currently they're at 27.5 point favorite.
They're going to win. They better win. They're going to win.
Will I make an investment on them? I don't know.
Brett Bielema is going to turn the entire program around. He's done that so far.
And, they could go to 3-0. The Fighting Irish play a tougher game against Texas A&M, which is in the SEC. But again, I have a caveat with some of these teams, these Texas teams that are in the SEC. A&M, Oklahoma, Texas, these people that are just, within the last couple of years, put themselves in to the SEC. And you viewers out there, you're going to, and I'm a Big Ten guy and I hate the SEC, so don't bang the drum and say, well, Alabama beat up today on Wisconsin, okay? And they did, okay? But Wisconsin is like the 6th or 7th or 8th best team in the Big Ten. And it was only 3 touchdowns. And Alabama is supposed to be here, and Wisconsin's here. Wisconsin's not even ranked. Okay? So this is another non-conference game that Alabama has played that their opponent is not ranked. And I don't know what the hell Wisconsin's coach was doing at the very end of the game. The line on that game was 17.5. He had the ball left with 2.5 minutes left. Why should I be upset with that? You can fill in your own blanks. But needless to say, Alabama covered. And currently, there's a couple other games of interest that I have going on right now. University of Pittsburgh and North Carolina with Bill Belichick. They are rolling over the Richmond Spiders as we speak. But again, Notre Dame plays at 6:30, and U of I plays at 6. And we debated about maybe going to a game today, but it's mid-September and it's hotter than hell. It's hotter than hell, ladies and gentlemen.
It's 100 degrees.
So we are literally in the downstairs comfort of the mansion.
We're in the meat locker right now.
And it is a meat locker. Keep the house at like 68 degrees all the time. And we got about a half an hour left before we have to start preparing our smorgasbord for the evening, dealing with and then getting with college football. But the remainder of our stuff is going to be talked about week 2.
The Chicago Bears.
Week 2 projections on the Chicago Bears against the Detroit Lions that take place tomorrow. We will do this show, and then probably tomorrow. We did a post-game show last time afterwards, but it was late, and we were probably on edge. It's posted if you want to see it. I think
it is. It was posted today.
I don't know how good it was, but this next one, since it's a noon show, we will calm down. We will cool off.
Automatic.
And we will do an immediate post-game show. So those of you who are watchers on a regular basis, we will do a wrap-up show on Sunday. Now, where do the Bears go from here? They are 0-1, and
they play the 0-1 Detroit.
They play the 0-1 Detroit Lions, and it's supposed to be a big game because Ben Johnson is returning to Ford Field, where he once was the offensive coordinator over the last couple of years, and defected to go and become the Chicago Bears head coach. Where do we go from here? Is he going? I mean, do the Bears have an edge over Detroit? Because if Detroit has the same playbook, or roughly, because I think they promoted within, so I think the assistant offensive coordinator is now the offensive coordinator, so the systems might be the same. Does the Bears have an edge knowing, or Ben Johnson knows what that playbook is? Do the Bears have an advantage defensively to stop the Detroit Lions?
Do you think they do? First and foremost, do you think that they do?
I think it don't mean a hill of beans, because I think there's going to be different wrinkles in the whole situation. It's still 11 against 11. And as John Madden said, it's 11 guys against 11 guys. So I don't know.
What do you want to see improvement here?
I think actually Detroit has an easier deal, because the Bears are going up against a And for years and years and years, Jared Goff, to me, was marginal at best, but I'm finding out long term.
I tried telling you.
You did.
I tried telling you.
He's having a respectable career. It's not Hall of Fame numbers, but he's having a respectable career.
If he wins the Super Bowl in Detroit, he probably is a Hall of Famer.
And Detroit basically has the same offensive weapons, and then they got Hutchinson back because he broke his leg last year or his knee. He's back on defense.
Okay, but you don't know how good he's going to be coming back from that.
Can you judge what Detroit did against the Green Bay Packers? And I know we got a couple Packer fans out there, rabid Packer fans out there, who are banging the drum right away on how the Packers pounded the Lions last week. So what can you take out of that? I don't know. I didn't see the game, but I think that Gibbs and Montgomery and St. Brown and is it Lapeter or the tight end? I think those four guys are better than any offensive guys the Chicago Bears
have. Do they still have the guy who looks like Thor? I think he's a defensive player.
That's Hutchinson.
Okay.
And he's back. Okay. And then, then you got Penei Sewell, the real stud offensive tackle. And question marks on the offensive line for the Chicago Bears after game one. And then I know it's only game one. Okay. But if they lose this game, they go 0-2.
Yeah.
And as you always said, that's like basically, now you said one loss equals two kind of deal. Two losses will kind of equal four in the swing of things.
Within your division.
Within a division. All right. And if they lose this one, playoff numbers with a 17-game schedule, most teams get in with 10, some get in with 9.
Yeah, but you need normally mandate at 10. Like 10 is the ideal.
10. So the Bears then would have to win. They would have to win 10 out of the next 15 games.
Can they do that? Can Ben Johnson and this great offense? Can they do that?
And as I've been
$94 million men up front, can they block for the quarterback? Can they do that? Because when you have your quarterback, we said in the previous episode, when you run as a QB and you are the number one leading ball carrier, you're the number one leading rusher, off 6 carries, you're not going to win.
I don't know. My projection is if, and I know you don't like to do the ifs, okay, but the ifs, I'm going with ifs in the future rather than what had happened in the past. Okay. So I think I can project the ifs in the future. If the Bears were to lose this one, and if the Bears were to lose next week to Dallas, which is Eberflus, ex-coach of the Bears, who's the defensive coordinator for Dallas.
With no Micah Parsons.
With no Micah Parsons. And if they were to lose that, they go 0-3.
Yeah.
Okay. And then week 4, they play Oakland.
Yeah.
The Los Angeles Raiders. They're Oakland to me. They will always be Oakland to me. I'm sorry for people who are going to correct me. It's the Raiders. Then it's the bye week. If they go 1-3 or 0-4,
then they come back and play the Commanders.
Washington. It's time for Tyson Bagent.
If you're 0-5,
0-4 going into the bye week, then you got a 2-week period of time to get Bagent ready for Washington.
Okay, but
that might be not good enough.
Okay, but here's my argument with that. I understand where everyone is coming from. I totally understand where everyone's coming from on that. Where's the same critics on the defensive side? Because we all want to crown these people, but they can't close out a game.
Well,
they can't close a McDonald's at midnight.
Okay, but now here's your if. Say the Bears lose 35-34, and they score 34 points, they give up 35. That is on the defense. So maybe it's not a quarterback change. Okay? So then it's the defense's deal with Dennis Allen. Okay? But damn it, People wanted Eberflus out of Chicago.
Why are you defending him? He sucked.
As a defensive coordinator, they
didn't like him. No one on this team or fan base liked him.
Okay.
He was the first head coach in team history that got fired in the middle of the year.
Okay.
And all of his other assistants that he hired on 2 separate occasions, they all got fired under mysterious circumstances, except for him. And then he goes to Detroit Thanksgiving, doesn't know how to call a timeout.
But, if Dennis Allen is supposed to be the whiz kid, now are you going to panic and say, well, we got in the next draft, we got to draft 9 defensive players because, we didn't draft any in this draft.
Well, here's another thing. Speaking of that, I'm very happy you touched base on that. Do you want to know what Ryan Poles' record is? What the Chicago Bears team win-loss record is with Ryan Poles as the existing general manager?
I don't know it exactly.
I believe it's 15-37. And if I am incorrect with that, I will re-edit this into the description box down below, and I will pinpoint to see what the exact win-loss record is as Ryan Poles as general manager of your Chicago Bears.
Because if it's boiling down to players, there's no comparison to what Pace brought in to what Poles has now. No comparison. And, I'm sorry for my language on this one, ladies and gentlemen, but remember there's the old phrase. You cannot make chicken salad out of chicken shit, okay? That means if you don't have the right ingredients, the bottom line, the final product is going to be crap. And the Bears, they do a great job of masking and charading how good their talent is. And if you boil it down, they paid $100 million for
Swift?
No,
you mean Montez Sweat.
Montez Sweat. They paid $100 million for 4 years. And I think last year he had 2 sacks. Because the year before when he got in halfway, it was like, he's the only guy in the history of the NFL that led 2 teams in the same year with the amount of sacks.
He's not Steve McMichael.
Because he had 6 sacks with Washington.
He's not Mark Gastineau.
Okay, and then he got traded to the Bears, and then he got 6 sacks with the Bears.
He's not Deacon Jones.
No.
And he's not Michael Strahan.
No. And he's not...
He's not Richard Dent.
No. And he's not Hutchinson, and he's not the guy... And Hendrickson in Cincinnati.
Nope.
And it's like... So next year...
He's not what Aaron Donald was.
And if this line isn't real good, this offensive line, which the jury's still out, because Williams was running for his life in game 1 and only got sacked twice. If this line sucks, okay, and the Bears defense is giving up 21 points in the 4th quarter, now the geniuses, Warren and Poles, got to sit in the same round chairs like we're right now going, what the hell do we need?
Speaking of those 2 geniuses, did you see what the governor of Illinois said about the potential stadium?
The potential stadium situation, from what we understand, is the Bears still owe from when they remodeled Soldier Field and their lease money to the Park District. They still owe $540 million to the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago for rental. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, the Bears do not own Soldier Field.
In fact, they've never owned their own property ever.
So, you got those students. So they owe. So what JB Backribs has said is that no tax money, or they have a deal right now with Arlington Heights where there's going to be a tax break somewhere along the line to Arlington Heights, to allow the Bears to build that property, and they tore down Arlington Racetrack. And those of you who are not investors of any sports, Arlington Racetrack was beautiful. I spent a few times there.
Well, it was, even though it was number 2.
The
first one burned down.
And I took you there for the last weekend before they closed.
That was the only time I was ever
I still have a program from Arlington Park.
Only time I was ever
maybe
there.
next time I'll have it right next to my Aurelio's Pizza thing here. But before Arlington gets a break, or before anybody signs their name on the tax relief stuff, the Bears are still in hock $540 million.
Well, here's the thing. They'll get all that money back in like 3 years.
But
maybe even sooner than that.
But I don't think any ground is going to be broke until I know that the Bears are attempting to make good on this debt.
And that's something that they're not going to do.
So, and as I said before, as I sit here, I don't think the Bears in my lifetime are ever going to leave Chicago. I will always see a Bear game in Chicago in some manner. And what they should still do is that parcel of land where the old Michael Reese Hospital, which is empty, okay? Hospital complexes are huge with land and land surrounding there. The Michael Reese Hospital situation, the hospital's empty. The buildings are still standing. You go in there, you do a wrecking ball situation, and you build your new stadium. We've been to Detroit. The Ford Field doesn't take up a whole lot of land.
No.
Okay? The baseball park, Tiger Stadium, Comerica Park, does not take up a whole lot of land.
The hockey arena.
The hockey arena. And those things are, all three of those arenas are within spitting distance of each other. So the Bears theoretically, Arlington Heights, I say eventually something's going to happen to that Arlington Heights land, but it's not going to be for the Chicago Bears.
Or if they just take the 78 property.
Okay. And the 78 is another thing where it's down by what we're referring to here is there's 78 acres that were earmarked for when Chicago was in the running for the Olympics.
Way back when.
One of the past Olympics. So they had this parcel of land, 78 acres, that if they were to, because they announced the Olympics many, many years in advance. So if the Bears were selected, they were going to construct all kinds of arenas and stuff in that. And the city still has it. And there's nothing being developed there. So you have the Michael Reese Hospital area. You got the 78 acres. And you still have Soldiers Field. But like you said, anyway, they got that fiasco hanging over their head. So Kevin Warren, if the Bears start rolling 1-4, 2-5, 4-7 after 11 games, there's going to be a bigger issue than a stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Because right now there's no stadium talk. If they start doing that, it's going to be, what do we need to do in the next upcoming draft?
Well, you know what? You know what they're doing? By them, dragging all their feet on this, what they're doing, because it's now reaching a point to where, and I know people personally, I know people firsthand who I'm not going to name, I know people personally who have some kind of involvements with all this because they got some good sources and whatnot, but it's just, they've told me straight up that it's now reaching a point where the Bears are pissing off the big time, state legislative people who are,
there's an expression, excuse my English, shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears have to do something, okay? All right. And as I always said, the Arlington Heights property became an investment. Because one of the true investments in life is land, okay? So they bought the land, and they've only bought the land for like $300 million. You might say, well, that's, only $300 million. But from the standpoint of what they bought, you can't build a stadium for $340 million, okay?
No, you can't.
So you got the land. So if somebody else wants to come in there and go roughshod and build hotels, casinos, et cetera, on that land, the Bears obviously would put the for sale sign right up in the front and say, go ahead and buy this off us. The Bears are in a situation where they can't lose. Because people are still going to, no matter where the hell the Bears are going to be playing, people are going to be going. They're going to be aggravated, but they're still going to go.
I'd rather have playoff victories in a new stadium.
Yeah, so I'd rather
have a playoff victory, something we've not had in 15, 16 years at this point.
So going back to, week 2 projections here, okay? What do we need to see? The running game has to improve. DeAndre Swift,
Why is he here? Can we say this?
Okay.
Can we kindly say this?
If you guys didn't know, DeAndre Swift played in Detroit with Ben Johnson as the offensive coordinator. When Ben Johnson was the offensive coordinator with DeAndre Swift in Detroit, what did Detroit do?
Threw him out.
Got his ass out of town and got 2 other guys. So then why would Ben Johnson, the new coach of the Bears,
keep him around
or potentially rely on this guy that they discarded in the first place?
Oh, yeah, better question. Why would not Detroit, why would Chicago, long before Ben Johnson was even here, why would they pick him up?
Why would they pick him up if they thought Ben Johnson was going to be their candidate? If the Bears are sitting back on, Ben wants to come here and he wants to coach Caleb Williams.
You're also forgetting what about the Roshan Johnson? What about the Deontay Foremans? What about those guys?
Roshan Johnson played understudy to Bijan Robinson in Texas. But everybody said if he would have went to any other school other than Texas, he would have been a Heisman Trophy candidate. So that's why the Bears drafted.
So why you had 4 other running backs you could have used. You didn't need another one. But if you needed one, if you honestly thought you were going to, you could have traded up and drafted Austin Gentry, which is something you chose not to do.
I wish you would, and people out there, I hope you can feel my sympathy because I hear, and he's right, but I hear this over and over. The Bears could have traded down and got Ashton Gentry, running back from Boise State, who is now the running back for your Oakland Raiders, who's coached by your guy.
I love Pete Carroll.
You're Pete Carroll.
I love Pete Carroll.
And
you know what? Want to know why? I'll tell. No. Let me say it. Pete Carroll. He wins national titles at USC. Pete Carroll. He made the Seattle Seahawks relevant. I don't care about Matt Hasselbeck and Mike Holmgren. Nobody cared. Nobody cared about Brian Bosworth unless in the NFL, unless Bo Jackson was running over him. Come on. Okay, sure. There was Steve Largent. That was it. There was Steve. Yeah. That's nice. But no one really cared. People cared what the Pete Carroll Seattle Seahawks did. Pete Carroll, he was a very similar to a Lovie Smith or a Dick Vermeil. A very competent man in the football world who, he didn't yell and scream at his players. He didn't have to. He didn't really need to. Because you want to know why? They stayed out of trouble. They played the games. And people want to say, Pete Carroll, the 1 yard line. Oh, the 1 yard line. Okay.
Was Pete Carroll responsible for all that success, or did Pete Carroll just have some great people around him? Or is it one reflects the other?
Well, Pete Carroll made Peyton Manning look like a fool, did he not?
Okay. So anyway,
did he not?
He did. You're correct. So once again with the running back, the Bears waited till the 7th round. And how many rounds are there in the NFL draft?
I think there's 7.
There's 7. They waited till the very last round to get this guy McCunday from Rutgers. Okay, and he's hurt.
And Rutgers is not a football power. Let's say it as it is. You're in the Big Ten, but you're not a football power.
You're going to go in with you're going to play, in my opinion, a better you let a rookie quarterback first of all beat you on Monday night
and humiliate,
and for the first 3 quarters look bad.
You lost to him in humiliating fashion.
Okay. So now you're going to play a team
contending for a Super Bowl
that was literally 1 game away
from 2 years ago at this point.
Okay. Well, what I'm trying to say is a team that has been up there in the higher echelon within an eyelash of getting into the Super Bowl at their place after they lost. Okay. Their coach Dan Campbell has already guaranteed.
Dan Campbell does not.
Dan Campbell already. Now, so that's bulletin board material already. Okay. Dan Campbell can't, after a statement like that.
See, but
he can't, fall backwards on his face if they lose.
He already has.
And the line.
He already has.
And for you investors out there, okay, who like to look at the investment line, like me, okay, the game started as the Bears only getting 2 points, meaning the lower the spread, the closer the game's going to be. Now the line's up to 6.5. So the line expanded. The wise guys in Vegas believe that the margin of victory for the Lions is going to be greater than 6. It started at 2, which means like a pick 'em.
And here, let me go even another step further. Oh, extend your hands, move them. What sweater are you wearing?
Notre Dame.
Who plays tight end for the Chicago Bears?
Well, Cole Kmet, but he's being pushed out by the guy that.
And why is that? Oh yeah, because Cole Kmet has been a disappointment. Can we say it as it is?
Well,
Cole Kmet, as a Chicago Bear, has been a blatant disappointment, and no one has the guts to say it, because he went to St. Viator, because he went to Notre Dame. Oh, and because he's a pretty boy. Oh, we're not going to say it. You know what? He doesn't block.
Okay,
He doesn't catch passes.
Okay, but once again,
their tight ends combined only got like 4 receptions the entire game.
But don't blame Cole Kmet for that.
Cole Kmet shows up in garbage time when they're already losing.
This was Ben Johnson's playbook when he was in Detroit. He had double tight ends. So when they were scoring all these points, they had 2 tight ends on the field.
I had to spend the entire second half as a Bears fan last year having to listen to everyone in this state. Have to go to high school football playoff games in this state, go college football games in this state, having to listen to people, speak to people in this state, talking about, why are they not giving Cole Kmet the ball? Excellent question. Why are they not giving you the ball? He's 6'6". He's 6'6". He's like 230-something pounds, and his hands are huge, and they don't give him the ball.
Let me answer.
Why is it? Is it because maybe he's complacent and he doesn't care?
Can I answer that question?
Go.
Up until last year, who was their quarterback for 3 years throwing to Cole Kmet? He's no longer here.
What is the tight end position built for? What is a tight end position built for?
It all depends.
Tight end is a utility man position. Primarily for the quarterback, it is meant to be when the pocket is collapsing, when all hell is breaking loose. You are my go-to man.
Very few tight ends were great blockers. Kelsey wasn't a great blocker. Witten wasn't a great blocker.
Yeah, but they make up for it as being competitors. They make up for it for having 1,000-yard seasons.
But once again,
showing up in big games, which is something Cole Kmet has yet to ever do. Coming out of the draft in the NFL, he was supposed to be the best NFL-ready tight end. You can't pass up on him. He's not. He's not Kelsey. He's not Gates. He's not. He's not even Zach Ertz.
Okay. Who was Gates' quarterback?
Philip Rivers.
Thank you. Who was Kelsey's quarterback?
Alex Smith and then Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. Who was Witten's quarterback?
Tony Romo, who was undrafted.
Okay.
Tony Romo did not go to a Division I big-time school.
Okay. But while he played, arguably, we're going to. No fool on planet Earth is going to say that none of those 3 quarterbacks are worse than Justin Fields.
Do you not like Mitch Trubisky?
I like Mitch.
Okay, well, Mitch was the quarterback for Cole Kmet.
And Cole Kmet's greatest years were when Mitch was there. His receiving yards and his catches.
Fields. So the argument is, Fields isn't throwing to him.
Fields isn't throwing to anybody.
Caleb wasn't throwing to him.
Fields wasn't throwing to anybody. We know that. Fields was more concerned about getting 1,000 yards rushing than any passing.
Justin Fields played 40 games, had 61 turnovers.
Brutal.
Why does anyone think he is good is beyond me.
Okay, so, and
Caleb Williams. No, not Caleb Williams. Cole Kmet will ghost the entire game. He will show up in the second half. Catch a couple, fluke passes. Yay, big whoop. I don't care.
Well, you know what?
I do not. They criticize everyone except for him.
Colson Lovelace is going to have better stats than Cole Kmet.
Good.
Why? Because Poles drafted him, and Johnson wanted him.
Here's the other thing. But here's the other thing. You are now trapped. You are now trapped with Cole Kmet for the next 3 years, knowing all damn well he's not a good blocker.
No, you're not.
Yes, you are.
Cole Kmet is going to be the next Greg Olson.
Guy.
Greg Olson's much better, but he's going to be discarded. It was going to be.
Do you know how old Cole Kmet is right now? I do. Do you know how old he is?
He's closer to 30 than he is to 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's 26 years old. 3 years from now, he'll be 30. His career will be over.
Correct.
That's it.
Okay.
His career is a disappointment. That's what it has been. And you know what?
Haven't the Bears been a disappointment? It's just that.
But he's been on a lot of these teams, though. And you know what? And because he did go to Notre Dame. Because he did go to St. Viator. He is from Illinois. He did grow up as a Bears fan. I will hold him to a higher standard than anybody else. That's without any shred of the doubt. However, he's been on a lot of these teams now that have all the smoke and the mirrors around them, have all the notoriety around them. Oh, they're on Hard Knocks and all this and that. When the other teams, when they go up and they fail and do something bad, I don't see any other one of those teammates do anything. I don't see them do media. I don't see them do podcasts. I don't see them go to Cub games. I don't see them doing any of that. Cole Kmet, oh, hi, I'm going to go on Barstool Sports. Hi, I'm Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet just seems to be so happy to be here. Just more than happy. Yay, I'm a Chicago Bear. Yay, and he doesn't care.
Cole Kmet's not the only athlete doing podcasts and going here and going here. And let me, you keep saying about he went to Notre Dame and was high profile. Where did Colson Lovelace play football last year?
He played in Michigan.
And what did Michigan do last year?
They went undefeated.
And they also won what?
Well, they won that national title a little while ago.
Okay.
Because Michigan's a football program.
Okay.
Notre Dame really isn't.
Okay.
Notre Dame has not won a national title since 1988.
Okay, so when you're saying that Kmet had all this hype, there's a lot of hype with Colson Lovelace.
Who's the best NFL player from Notre Dame right now? Who's the best definitive man right now? You don't even know.
No, I said it the other day.
That's Quentin Nelson.
And my viewing audience is going to know this. Because it was something that I said to these people every single solitary day. It's Joe Alt.
Are you not going to say Quentin Nelson?
Not right now. Quentin Nelson's got miles on him. And my viewing audience out there will know that Joe Alt should have been in a Bear uniform.
And what position does Joe Alt play?
Offensive tackle.
That's it. Not a running back, not a quarterback, not a middle linebacker, not a safety.
He protects the quarterback.
An offensive tackle is the best NFL talent that Notre Dame has right now. And Notre Dame, they pump out their chest. Oh, yeah, we're Notre Dame. Okay, well, when you have a football coach who doesn't know how to speak, that kind of lowers your standings there. I don't know how to sit. I don't know how to speak. When was the last time Notre Dame has beat Ohio State?
Well,
when was the last time they've defeated Ohio State?
How many times have they played them? Up until last year in the national championship game, when was the last time they played them? I don't know. It might have been 30 years ago.
I got to look that up.
So,
because I don't know.
When you don't play people regularly, it's hard to beat them. So I don't know. They played Ohio State in the national championship game last year. Prior to that, I have no idea when they played them. So don't ask me that question, because the honest answer is I don't know.
I'm going to look that one up and I'll put that in the bottom. I'll look that one up and I'll put it in the bottom of the description box.
So anyway, the Bears got all kinds of problems. It isn't just Cole Kmet. Because for as much as you rag on Cole Kmet,
like Cole Kmet.
I'm going to rag on the quarterback, and I will defend myself when the game ends. Not now, because we're getting close to our what we wanted to allocate for this particular episode. But anyway, I'm predicting another Bear loss. Okay.
Over under, how many points do you think is going to be combined?
I think right now the line is 47.5. I think the line will be over, but I think also Detroit would cover. So that means Detroit's going to win by more than 6.5, and the total between the two teams will be more than 47.5. Meaning it's something in the neighborhood of 28-20. That means that's 48 right on the nose, and it's an 8-point win. Or 31-24, in that neck of the woods, because I think Detroit, after only scoring 16 points, they're on their turf, indoors, and the defensive backs with the Bears are still question marks. And I think they're going to throw the ball like a sandlot game, and it's going to be frustrating as hell. The Bears might score their points, okay? But what's more important? Wonder Boy lighting it up, or Wonder Boy not lighting it up and the Bears win a victory? I want W's, like you said.
I do, yeah. I agree with you on that.
But we will find out.
I want victories, but my concern is people are just, you see, it's the Jay Cutler thing. It's the Mitch Trubisky thing. Oh, this is why they're not winning. Oh, this one individual problem alone is why they're not winning. Well, no, it's not real.
Okay, but, do you have any other direct projections, not ragging about players, going into the game going in?
Supposedly, Jalen Johnson and a lot of those secondary players, a lot of those corners and safeties who have been questionable, supposedly many of them have been practicing. A lot of them could be playing.
Well, because if you miss 4 games in a row, then you go on the official IL, and then you're out 4 more games. Okay? And the other thing is, other people played the other day, and for a while they were winning.
And the defense let them down.
But for 3 quarters, yes, the defense let them down. But for 3 quarters, if I'm Jalen Johnson, if I'm the guy with the pick 6,
and they want to be the highest paid guys in the NFL,
and if I'm Jalen Johnson, and
none of them are Jalen Ramsey,
see my backup do a pick 6 and getting playing time, I got to sit there and go, I got to get my ass back on the field as quickly as humanly possible. And I think that's what spurred these guys to come and play this week. Because if there's another pick 6 or there's 2 more interceptions, okay, they're playing, then they figure that these guys are not as valuable as they think they are. Okay? And they'll stay with them. And I think that's why Brisker and Johnson and these guys, they're waking up going, damn.
Here's my other thing, though, and this goes back to what we said previously about having that offensive lineman run that ball, and this is when you made the comment of where, put certain position players or certain positions for a reason. However, Devin Hester was drafted as a defensive back originally. A lot of people don't remember that. But then they moved him around to special teams for kick returns, punt returns, wide receiver, slot receiver, flanker here and there.
Well, they found out he really couldn't defend NFL players.
But still, they tried. And still, they came up, they did everything.
They tried, yes. And then they said, well, sort of like the Heisman Trophy winner. The guy's got speed. He's got blazing speed. Let's try to get him out there. We need help. The Bears have needed help for wide receivers forever. Yes. We have this athlete. Let's try to put him out there. And then we found out later on, and it might have been the best damn thing in the world, he became a kickoff specialist, and he's in the Hall of Fame. So, Devin Hester's career turned out to be okay. So,
anyway, I think we touched on all bases here.
So, tune in to us, either late tomorrow night or Monday. Okay, if you're at work or you're at school or you're at home or you're at Aurelio's having a slice, tune us in. Okay, again, hey sports. This is the Week 2 Bears and other stuff projections if you're looking us up, and it is the September 13th version. It's time to put the wings in the oven and start getting ready for the University of Illinois and Notre Dame. Have fun with the sports.